Hey traders, Jason here from Levitt Brothers. Let's talk about inflation and the current new normal with prices. The textbook definition of inflation has something to do with devaluing a currency due to printing money at a faster rate than it's destroyed. You can also talk about inflation as the rate of increases in prices over a given period of time. Printing some money to replace the money that is destroyed won't cause inflation. Okay, so this assumes that there's a fixed system, which we don't have. More and more countries use US dollars, and the population of the planet continues to expand. So some printing is fine, but too much printing will result in more dollars chasing the same goods and services, which causes prices to rise. The printing of money is partly responsible for the price of everything being much higher than it was at the beginning of the year. After COVID broke out, the US government pretty much threw money at everything it could in hopes of backstopping losses. There was like $850 billion in direct stimulus checks sent out. Low mortgage rates resulted in $400 billion in cash outs from refinances, more than $1 trillion in PPP forgivable loans. Child tax credit checks were sent out, and there was another $4 trillion indirectly sprinkled all over the economy. Some of this money went to pay down debt, which is great, but otherwise in a system that essentially stayed the same over a given short period of time, there was a lot more money sloshing around, which caused the price of everything to move up. Now everyone wants inflation to come down so they can get some relief. But if inflation came down, prices wouldn't necessarily follow. Why? Because inflation is the rate of increase in prices. So if inflation is 8%, that means prices are moving up at 8% per year. If inflation dropped to 5%, prices won't drop. It just means prices are moving up at 5% per year rather than 8% per year. As long as inflation is a positive number, prices will not drop. This is the new normal. Prices haven't just moved up temporarily, as if they'll eventually come down once all the excess money works its way through the system. This is a new floor. A new floor is being established. The only way prices will come down is if inflation goes negative, which is deflation. That's when so much money comes out of the system that demand drops and prices follow. In this case, the value of the currency increases, so it takes less of the currency to buy the same products. Now, there's another reason to believe we have to come to grips with the current prices being the new benchmark, and expecting lower prices is pretty much foolish. It's because wage earners are making a lot more money, and these costs have to be passed on. Nobody wants to talk about this. I guess it gets into politics and fairness and minimum wage laws and all that stuff, but I will. Okay, so McDonald's in my area is paying $17, $18 an hour, okay, instead of 10 or 12. So are other fast food restaurants. And if McDonald's is paying that much, Costco, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, they have to increase wages that they pay. Grocery stores that used to pay $13 or $14 an hour are now over $20. And these costs need to be passed on. So even if inflation subsides, unless these workers willingly take a pay cut, prices aren't coming down. And I'm just simply making a factual statement. I'm not interested in a debate on minimum wages. We can do that at another time. If all these workers are making so much more money, prices are not coming down regardless of the inflation data. The reason is because increased wages from running a small business are not compartmentalized. They hit all aspects of the business. Take a gas station, for example. Gas stations don't make much money selling gas. At best, they make 1%, but many just break even. The gas is there just to get you into the parking lot in hopes that you'll go inside and buy coffee or a Big Gulp or a hot dog. That's how they make their money. But the people working behind the counter are making more, and the cost of all the food and drink they sell is more expensive, and their electric bill and water bill are higher, and taxes are higher, and insurance is higher, and the cost of landscaping or snow removal is higher. Every aspect of their business is more expensive, all due to higher wages. That even if gas should decline in price, the price of the pump won't decline too much because every other aspect of the business costs more. The same can be said about a Domino's Pizza or a department store or a grocery store. Higher wages are not compartmentalized in one small part of their balance sheet. It hits every aspect of their business. So unless wages come down, the higher price of goods and services have a new floor. So sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Inflation will eventually come down, but unless there's an intense recession with massive job layoffs and deflation, prices aren't going to drop.